Hey, it's your buddy Peace and Harmony with you here today. Checking in and delving in on the concept and topic of the narcissist psychopathic relationship dynamic and the experience of emotional deprivation. We see this in both the covert and the overt narcissistic relationship. And this is a very important topic that I want to delve in here, especially in the work that's inspired here with John Bradshaw, Healing the Shame That Binds You. He describes the experience of what is healthy emotional attachment, basically, healthy emotional relationship. And then really we can see how the emotional deprivation is created in a narcissistic relationship where really relations just break down. And he describes this in a section called Emotional Abandonment and Narcissistic Deprivation. And he describes this in the reference to children and parenting. But I think it really translates quite well into the spousal, relationship, or really any relationship with a person who is involved with a narcissist or psychopathic. So you can kind of see how children can be replaced with spouse and things of this nature, because I think the emotion is just as relevant and important. He says children need mirroring and echoing. These come from their primary caregiver's eyes. Mirroring means that someone is there for them and reflects who they really are at any given moment of time. In the first 3 years of our life, each of us is needed to be admired and taken seriously. We needed to be accepted for the very one that we are. Having these mirroring needs met results in what Alice Miller calls our basic narcissistic supplies. These supplies result from good mirroring by a parent with good boundaries. When this is the case, as Miller states in The Drama of the Gifted Child, the following dynamics take place. 1, the child's aggressive impulses can be neutralized because they do not threaten the parent. 2, the child striving for autonomy is not experienced as a threat to the parent. 3, the child is allowed to express and experience ordinary impulses such as jealousy, rage, sexuality, and defiance because the parents have not disowned these feelings within themselves. The child does not have to please the parent and can develop his or her own needs at his or her own developmental pace. The child can depend on and use his parents because they are separate from him. The parent's independence and good boundaries allow the child to separate self and object representation. And 7, because the child is allowed to display ambivalent feelings, he can learn to regard himself and the caregiver as both good and bad, rather than splitting off certain parts as good and certain parts as bad. And 8, the beginning of true object love is possible because the parents love the child as a separate object, i.e. entity. So what we see here, it is the parents who are shame-based and needy are unable to take over the mirroring, essentially healthy narcissistic functionings of the child. And he also states furthermore that the fact that the parents were shame-based is a clear signal that they never got their own narcissistic supplies. And such parents and adult children are still in search of a parent or object who will be totally available for them. So essentially, what to recapitulate here is essentially that in relationship dynamics, if that person is not resolved in their narcissistic needs, they're not able to mirror back, they're not able to give back, they're not able to have that emotional congruency, they're not able to really connect. So it's not only important in the parent-child relationship, but we do definitely see this in the parent and the spousal and romantic relationship. In other words, if a narcissist is so threatened that they have to control, manipulate, and overpower others, they're essentially threatened by others' development, their personal growth, like the same example of a child growing up. That parent who's unhealthy is threatened by that child, can't handle that child emotionally, can't, neutralize them because they haven't had that need satisfied within themselves. The likewise occur with a narcissist adult who cannot then, be very comfortable with having balanced and trusting and loving relationships because they're constantly threatened by the other person overtaking their needs and becoming equal or having, an equal place in the spotlight. So it's very interesting to see this, and I hope this shines some light and helps offer you some insight of why it's so difficult to maintain a healthy relationship with a narcissist or psychopathic individual without being victimized. Peace and harmony with you here today. I hope these videos help. Please share, please subscribe for more great tools, videos, discussions, and support.